Taking care of pets can be one of the most rewarding jobs of everyday life. Yet taking care of your animals in the midst of disaster can be a monumental task. Are you prepared to take care of all of your animals in the midst of a disaster? I'm Dr. Heather Case, Head of Disaster Preparedness with the American Veterinary Medical Association. During disasters, hundreds of thousands of animals are displaced. The AVMA would like to remind animal owners to plan ahead. No disaster preparedness plan is complete without considering all of your animals. Disaster plans don't have to be complicated. In fact, the best plans keep things simple. It's important to have transportation for your pets and a carrier such as these, not only to transport, but also for temporary housing. Make sure you get a pet carrier large enough for your pets to stay comfortably for a few days. If you evacuate to a shelter, they'll need to spend most of their time there. If you're a cat owner, you'll need a carrier large enough to hold a small litter box. Making a litter box is simple. Simply take a small cardboard box, line it with a plastic bag, and add litter. One of the ways to make sure you have everything to evacuate in a disaster is to put together a disaster preparedness kit. Your kit should include food and water, any medications, including a prescription, a current prescription, as well as Coggins papers for your horses, and a recent photograph of you with your pet. Finally, a list of important contact information is very important. Think about contacts for officials, the state veterinarian, animal pet supply, feed supply, and those sorts of phone numbers. And also make sure to talk to your veterinarian about finding a veterinarian in the area where you plan to evacuate to. Proper identification is one of the most important elements of preparedness for your pet. It is far more likely in a disaster evacuation that your pet will be lost. And having proper identification is the only way to make sure you are reunited. Think about having for sure your cell phone number, but also the phone number for an alternate contact, someone who lives outside of your area. In a pinch, you can put your contact information on a luggage tag and attach that to your pet's collar. Proper identification is extremely important for the horse owner as well. Writing your contact information on a luggage tag and attaching it to the horse's halter, braiding the luggage tag into your horse's mane, or writing your contact information directly on the side of your horse with a livestock marking pencil are several options. Microchip identification is useful for dogs, cats, and horses, and is commonly used. Even if your pet has an identification tag, if the tag is separated from your animal, now your pet is without identification. Microchips are implanted just below the skin, between the shoulder blades, and read with a scanner like this one. Many pets have been found hundreds of miles from home as a result of a microchip. Evacuating a horse or livestock requires additional planning for an effective disaster preparedness plan. You'll need the contact information for hay and feed distributors, as well as the location of an equestrian facility where you may evacuate to. Temporary sheltering has been established in parking lots. However, you'll need to contact the State Veterinary Medical Association or the State Veterinarian's Office to determine these locations. Make sure you have a halter and lead rope for every horse, and if you don't own your own trailer, that you have established alternate transportation. Local stables may want to form an emergency network for making these plans. Finally, in any evacuation, you'll need to know where to go. Make sure to contact hotels, shelters, emergency agencies, farms, campgrounds, and stables in advance of the evacuation.